Hello viewers, our today's angel is Purabi Chaudhary. She is an active listener. She is working as a volunteer with an NGO named Ankahee. I'm very curious to know from her the story of Ankahee and the story of an active listener. Welcome Purabi to my show Life Unscripted with Orpita Pran Khola podcast series. Thank you very much for coming to our show.
Thank you so much, Arpita, for inviting me. I feel honored that you want to talk to me and want to know about our organization. So,
Purabi, tell me the story of Ankahee. What does Ankahee do? When was it born?
Ankahee is a emotional support helpline, and it has a focus on suicide prevention.
Right. And you see in the newspapers, they write at the end of some news like suicide prevention, like those lines, right?
Yes.
Please carry on.
Of course, we cater to everyone with any emotional distress, but our focus is a bit on suicide prevention. Why? Because we don't even realize that suicide is such a big menace. You'll be surprised to know close to 8 lakh people die every year by suicide. And it is, as per WHO data, it is the third leading cause of death within the age group of 15 to 20.
Oh, that is so unfortunate.
So unfortunate, and India's data is even worse than that. So, and yet we hardly talk about it.
Yes.
Still a
Yes. We feel embarrassed to talk about it when it happens in our own family. Right?
Own family, right? Yeah. And the link between suicide and mental health is well established. So there are other causes of suicide also. It's not always about mental health. People definitely commit suicide due to financial constraint, relationship issue, which can be, sometimes it can be an impulsive reaction also. But that people with a mental health challenge is more vulnerable to commit suicide is well established. Yet we don't even talk about mental health.
Yes.
We are not very comfortable talking about it. We share so easily that I have an appointment with my cardiologist or a physiotherapist or something. But how often we really say that I have an appointment with a therapist? I mean, psychological therapist or with a psychiatrist.
Because we think like we are, people will think we are pagal, we are mad people, right?
Yes.
Pagal ka doctor ke paas ja rahe.
And so we don't talk about it, so we don't get the required help.
Exactly.
Because we are not even sharing it with our family also, close family also. So we'll just suffer. We'll not even know that we have a psychological problem. We'll keep suffering. And sometimes, unfortunately, someone will end their lives. Or even if not, they could have lived a much better life. It's not there.
Yes.
So, Ankahee's mission is to provide a safe space. What do we mean by safe space? Where you can openly talk about your problems. It's totally confidential. We don't even get to know the caller's number. Oh, okay. First, let me tell you what services we provide.
Yes, as an active listener, what do you do?
First, I'll tell what Ankahee does.
Sure.
Then I'll come about my role. Okay. Ankahee operates a helpline which operates every day from 4 to 10 p.m.
Okay.
4 p.m. to 10 p.m. where we take calls from people in emotional distress. It can be anything. And including people with suicidal thoughts, of course. And we have even an email helpline where somebody may not be comfortable talking, so they can even write to
Right.
us. And we try to raise awareness about mental health issues. So for that, we conduct programs, workshops in schools, colleges, corporate offices. So that there is like, how will people even call us or talk to us? They first have to be aware that it's okay to talk
Yes,
about
yes.
it.
And in the newspaper, normally it is such a small line, it is written suicide prevention line. Like nobody can understand what it is exactly. Suicide prevention, it is written. Nobody can understand. If you have any mental discomfort, you can call that number and ask.
Exactly. And it's not only about calling us. People can call anybody, but first of all, they have to know that it's okay about talk to mental health issues. And then there are such a space where they can talk about
Right.
it. So Ankahee's mission is to provide a safe space for everyone.
Right.
Okay? So both our call helpline and email helpline, it's confidential. We don't even ask anybody's name, location, nothing. Whatever they want to provide, that is fine. Someone tells voluntarily, someone likes to share, someone doesn't like, but we never ask.
So you just listen what they are talking.
Yeah, I mean, once they call us, we greet them and then ask them whether we can help them. Then they will keep talking. Whatever they want to share, they can share. Even if we ask something, then also we'll say, if you are comfortable sharing it, then please tell. And so anonymity and confidentiality, we never ever talk about our callers. Never discuss it.
Right.
It's between the callers and Ankahee. And we don't judge anybody.
It is a totally free service, right?
No, don't judge.
Sorry. Okay, judge.
Don't judge.
Yes.
Because anybody can feel something. We don't say why you are feeling, like we don't even think about it. Okay? So that is, and we want to give out accessible, easy access to anyone, because see, it's irrespective of their location, their financial condition. Anybody can call. Okay, from all over India.
Right.
So that is like absolutely free, and we want to have everyone to have that access.
Right. So how many this kind of numbers are there? Like all over the people, all over India can access this kind of helpline numbers? Is the situation so good as of now?
There are helplines and they can access, but whether it is enough, I don't think so.
Okay. But maybe remote villages also people can access this kind of lines, right?
Because it's just
a phone number. Right. And you talk like in what language normally you talk?
It depends. See, basically it will be Hindi and English, but whenever volunteers know other languages, they will respond in that also.
Okay.
For example, being an Assamese, I speak in Assamese also if required.
Right, but like you are operating from Mumbai now, so Marathi must be there, no?
Yes. Sorry, Marathi is definitely.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I don't know Marathi, but lots of our volunteers know Marathi.
Right.
And in case someone wants to speak in a language which the attending volunteer cannot speak, then if we know about some other helplines where such language is available, okay? Because we of course know about other helplines also. Not all maybe in India, but many of them.
You are interconnected. All these kind of NGOs who are doing this kind of.
You can say. So that way, then we even provide that number. Okay, you can talk to. say someone wants to speak in a South Indian, then we know such such helplines which offer services in Telugu also, Tamil also.
Right.
In that case, we refer.
Okay. So you listen to them, and do you advise them further course of action, what they can do, like, or you just listen? Then what is the outcome? Like, they told you there are problems, then they must be asking you, like, what do I do now, or something like that. Like, please, if you explain that, because you said it is active listening, okay, not counseling or anything. So if you please elaborate this.
Then shall I first tell you what active listening by what?
Sure.
Actually, active listening is not a term only associated with us. Active listening is required in every field of life.
Exactly.
In our this thing, like we have as volunteers, see, we can volunteer as call volunteer. We can volunteer as email volunteer, and some of our volunteers are also doing outreach activities where we publish about our work. So like I said, that we conduct workshops for raising awareness, or to publish more about us, that our numbers and that what we do, so that people can contact us. So when it comes to call volunteer, basically we want to listen to people and make them comfortable to open up. So for that, what are some ingredients of active listening? That you have to be totally present in the conversation.
Right.
No distraction, whether physical or whether mental. You should be totally into it.
Right.
Okay? So that you can listen to understand, not to respond.
Okay.
Most of the time, what happens when we are listening to somebody, we are already trying to respond. How would I'll try to form my response to the speaker's statement. So in that case, actually, we are not giving our 100% to understand what the speaker is
Before
saying.
they finish, you start talking, right?
Yes. And even if we don't start talking physically, mentally we are already forming our response. So my attention is there, that what my response would be. And in the process, I miss what the speaker is saying.
Yes, absolutely.
Then, if you are listening, how to make the speaker feel that he or she is being listened to.
Exactly. Yes.
So while I was trained, of course you have to undergo training for that. So while undergoing training, we are taught those basics of active listening. First, as I said, that you be totally into it in the conversation. So we are asked to, we're actually asked that whether you have a private space where you can talk to undisturbed. Okay, listen, receive calls undisturbed, and then like whatever the caller is saying, we'll try to at least say some of them again, like reflecting what they are saying, so that they can understand that yes, the volunteer is
listening and trying to help. All attention. Okay.
Yes, and heard what I say. Then we'll even ask questions, but it's like open-ended question. What do I mean by that? Where the answer is not yes or no.
Okay.
Because if you ask some question whose answer will be only yes or no, you hardly get to know. You need more from them. When we are listening, basically we want them to speak more. We will do the listening part. But then, if you just keep on listening, at some point the speaker may not be able to say everything. No, some speakers are like, they don't need any prompt. They'll keep saying. We don't even get any. Sometimes we don't even get a scope
in between.
Talk also. Yeah, and of course we are okay with that. as long as the caller
Right.
is safe. But sometimes some caller will need
Yeah.
some problem.
So yeah,
Not
exactly.
everybody.
So that they can understand, like, you are in the conversation. है ना?
Plus, not everyone is so articulate, no?
Yes.
And especially it is very difficult to talk about things which weighing so heavily on your heart.
Yes. That words like are accumulated here in your chest. It is difficult to come
Yeah.
out through your mouth. Yes.
Come out very quickly.
Exactly.
How to say
Right.
it? So for not everybody is like very. In fact, many people are not even comfortable talking about those issues.
Right.
These things. So we try to ask them questions where they will have to give a more elaborate
Right.
answer.
Okay.
Okay, what is your take on that? How are you? What do you think about it? Where they have to say more.
Yes.
So these are the basics of active listening. So that's why we are called, basically we are volunteers. But why active listener? Because we are trying to make people open up by listening to them, by offering them our empathy, emotion.
Right. So this helps them. Like you are not giving them any therapy session or any medicine. You are only listening to them actively, right? So does it help actually?
Actually, so many times people will ask for advice. But I think you'll agree that advising is not easy because you don't have the full picture. And we never counsel that way. And not all the call volunteers or when volunteers are from having a psychology background.
Right.
I think and I don't have any psychology background. We never counsel. But then, we don't advise that way. But sometimes we maybe gently suggest if whether they have thought of taking any professional help. And that it is okay to seek professional help.
Okay. Right.
So that kind of thing only. We never really refer them to that, you should go for other.
Right.
Just try to gently suggest that maybe if required.
You listen to their problems with your all attention without being judgmental and try to try to give them a feeling that you are a team. You are totally empathetic towards him, right?
Yeah. And you asked me whether it helps. So many times during the conversation only, towards the after talking for some time, they will say that they are feeling much lighter now. Yeah, and they will. So many times they will profusely thank us, which is very humbling.
This is very rewarding also for you, I guess, right?
Yes, because that is what we want, to make someone's life easier, even if for a few moments.
Right. So, Purabi, please tell me, how did it come to your mind to become an active listener?
Actually, I have been working for almost 3 decades in a petroleum industry. Then it felt like, okay, it's enough now. I want to do something else. I want to pursue other interests. So I was always interested in human psychology. I was always interested in the story of the human beings. And of course, I have other interests also, which I'm pursuing now, like traveling a lot or physical fitness interests. But I always wanted to do we have such good lives.
Yes.
But I have been living my life only for myself, for my family, or my close friends so far. So I was looking for some opportunity to do for someone who not in any way related to me.
Service to the society.
Yes, I cannot seek for any reciprocation. It's not a give and take kind of thing. So when I heard about Ankahee,
How did you hear about
Actually,
Ankahee?
actually, a friend of mine, when she came to know that I was looking for an opportunity, she knew another colleague who was a volunteer
Okay.
with Ankahee. Actually, Ankahee has been born very recently, only September this year. But Ankahee was in a way continuing for a long time. There was a helpline called Samaritan in UK. They opened their first helpline outside UK in Mumbai. That was Samaritan's Mumbai. Of course, it was that time known as Samaritan Bombay. Many decades back. And there was a volunteering division. It was a trust with employees and all, but there was a volunteering division who used to run the helpline.
Okay.
So when I came to know about Samaritans Mumbai, and actually I joined Samaritans.
Okay.
But then we wanted to focus more on our activities and grow. So the whole volunteering division has now opened a new non-profit, which is Ankahee. So in a way, actually Ankahee is new, but it carries forward the legacy of Samaritans Mumbai.
Right. So if hearing you, suppose somebody gets inspired to work as an active listener, or they want to join NGO like Ankahee, so what they can do, how they can contact?
See, we have our website, okay, www.ankahee.helpline.org, and there actually we have two email ID. One is for people who is asking for emotional support.
Okay.
That is hello@ankahee.helpline.org.
Okay.
But if someone wants to contact us to be a volunteer or to know about other these things, then there we have a different email ID, ankahee.helpline@gmail.com. So one can write to us and offer their services or whatever other information they need. And after that, actually, I can't talk about other organizations. But in Samaritans Mumbai, when we joined Samaritans Mumbai, and which is will be continuing even for Ahkahee, there was a rigorous screening procedure.
Okay.
Even to get selected for training.
Okay.
I'm not talking about afterwards. Even prior to that, like we had asked to give a written response to certain circumstances. One was that one stage. Then second stage was of course our sessions were all online. It was like a group discussion and activities. After that two-stage screening process, only we are selected for training, which was a 6-day training program, which again involved lots of intensive learning, testing, lots of group activities, and even mock calls. What kind of calls? Because senior volunteers gave us practice that how to respond to calls. Because typically it will be that you will be doing that. And after the training period also we practice mock calls, then we are interviewed, and then we are selected for volunteering to be a volunteer. And after that also we are not allowed to attend calls right away.
Okay.
First we have to shadow a senior volunteer, like how they respond to calls. Then we were asked to respond to calls, but when a senior volunteer is listening to us, how we are handling calls. And after all this process, only finally we were given to independently attend calls, but that there is also again a probation period.
Okay. Yeah, that should be there because it is such a serious matter. and it has to be dealt with that.
Yeah.
And this training process, how long it took, like this training process?
The training process itself was 6
Okay.
days. But because afterwards also we practice mock calls, and then even in the interview there, where like sometimes we have to go to 2-3 stages.
Right.
At the first interview, even for me, at the first interview I was not clear.
Okay.
I was told about my weak
Okay.
points and asked to work upon that. Then after the second, then I appeared for the second stage. Then I was
Okay.
cleared. So it took like maybe even more than a month for some of
Right,
us.
right. And what type of, most of the calls are related to what? Is there something like that you receive calls mostly on these cause or something like that? What is the most
No,
disturbing issue in society today?
I can't really categorize because we get calls for every perceivable this
Okay.
thing. Starting from like young students, educational this thing, then people facing financial constraint, people facing family problems, domestic violence, emotional like relationship issues, even physical health, addiction, drug addiction, porn addiction, all kind of.
Oh.
I can't really say that there is a prevalence of
Okay.
this.
And you receive calls from all genders, all age group. That also you cannot categorize like this age group people or this gender call most of the time. Nothing like that. No statistics.
Nothing like that. Because when it is students, they are teenagers. There will be people who were facing financial constraint, maybe 30s, 40s range. And there will be old age people who have loneliness issues.
Oh, so you receive calls from old people also, and they say कि loneliness is the problem they are facing. Okay, okay. मतलब starting from school children till very senior citizens. Okay, okay. And can you share with us any particular incident which impacted you deeply?
In a way, it's call impacts us. Actually, it is such a learning procedure. No? I mean, even in training, we learn so much about ourselves. I thought I am a good listener. Then I realized I hardly listen.
Okay.
Like that way, when we are like, I didn't even know that I'm so judgmental. I thought I am quite, open-minded.
Okay.
But you don't even realize that there are small things. So training made me realize that.
Okay.
And like, it's call also that, okay, someone might think like that also. Someone might feel like this also.
Right.
So every call actually impacts.
Yeah.
Impact not in a, I'm not talking in a negative sense, but that you learn something.
You learn. You are also growing and you are helping at the same time others. It's a win-win situation.
And yes, in fact, sometimes I feel maybe I am getting more benefit because I am learning so much, and it fulfills my requirement to feel good about myself.
Exactly.
I would say it is totally selfless because I have a requirement to feel good about myself. So
lovely. Thank you so much, Purabi, for this candid, confession. Like, we are really talking heart to heart, no?
Yes. That is true. Otherwise, there is actually not much meaning.
Yes.
So, and another impact is that, okay, I just, because then I need don't discuss about calls, but sometimes it makes you feel, oh my goodness, kind of, once all of us receive calls, like when someone is actually about to take a step to end his or her life. So once I got such a call and who was standing on the terrace
Oh,
and saying that I don't need. So finally, at the end of the conversation, the caller, at least at that moment, said that okay, that caller is going back to his or her.
okay, okay.
So that definitely makes you feel like
Yes.
it.
Did
Actually, while our training also we are given that kind of mock calls, but that kind of calls kind of, even if you try to be calm and composed, somewhere inside you feel
yes,
shaken.
yes, shaken, totally shaken and stressed. Yes, very difficult actually.
So of
Hats off
course,
to you.
for that we work. I mean, actually we are okay. The training really helped, and we have a support system for that. For every shift, besides the call volunteers, there is a support volunteer
Yes.
who keeps track.
Oh,
Who keep asking how you are feeling, and we mandatorily offload after each shift.
okay. Right, right.
How it impacted us, because it's not easy always after listening
Yes.
to such problems.
And again, go back to your own life and behave normally, act totally normally.
yeah. You cannot, maybe somewhere you'll still carry little forward, but at least it should not make you feel too heavy or something.
Right.
So we have our system for support volunteers. We'll keep track of our emotions. And yes, another impact is that I feel so wonderful about meeting a community of our volunteers. I have known not a single one of them. And had I not joined Ankahee or Samaritans Mumbai, I would not have perhaps known even a single one of them.
So many
And
angels.
and it feels so distinct to see even so many of our volunteers are youngsters. Some are even students. Some are young working professionals. They have such a busy life. You can imagine people in 20s and 30s. It's like career, family, other interests. It's such a busy life, hectic life. But after all that, they still find time to do something like this. And actually, I'll say hats off to them.
Right. And Purabi, would you like to say something, some message, give some message to my viewers?
Rather than masses, okay. Prior to that, actually something escaped my mind when we are talking about suicide. No? There are so many myths about suicide.
Okay. Like?
Well, like people think if you talk about suicide, somebody may get may think that they would like to commit suicide. It's not like that. Because we are always asked to ask callers that if you are feeling suicidal, you want to do self-harm, and it never actually prompts them to do that. Rather, it gives them an option to talk about it. If they were otherwise not feeling comfortable to come out themselves, when we ask them, they say yes, they are feeling. Or sometimes if they are not feeling, but because we are asking, they will not start feeling suicidal. That's a myth.
Okay.
You don't encourage, when people don't get encouraged by talk about suicide to commit suicide.
Right. Okay.
That is a big reason generally we don't speak. But it is not there. In fact, we even carried out a group activity so that we can realize that actually it doesn't make you feel suicidal because somebody is asking you whether you are feeling suicidal.
Okay, right. And there is another myth also, like who commit suicide or who think of committing suicide, they are very weak person in mentality. I think that is also a myth. And
Exactly. My second point would have been
Okay.
that. So many times people say they are attention
see,
seekers. When they are-
emotional blackmailing family members.
Yes.
Yes,
But actually, it's a cry for help.
exactly.
If somebody is talking about it, actually, it's a cry for
Yes,
help.
yes.
Rather, we should be empathetic about it, take it seriously, try to help him or her. And if someone is not able to come out on his or her own, but you feel, you guess, because there are again some red flags when people feel suicide, and we are taught about those also. So if
Can you mention a few red flags so that we can know, like, oh, in my family this person is having this tendency?
Yeah, like one obvious clue is that when one starts talking about taking drugs, then you see certain behavioral changes, withdrawing from social interaction.
And I think sometimes people does this thing, self-harm also, like cutting and all, small cuts and all you can.
That is also there. So, or sometimes people will start being too organized about something, as if finishing all their jobs.
Winding up, winding up.
Yeah, winding up kind of thing. So, if you notice, like, there will be many such things actually. If someone is really interested, there are even training programs for those kinds of things also, where you don't even have to be a volunteer, but at least you know.
Okay. So you can extend your helping hand to someone like that. So that is really great. This NGO, your Ankahee, and other NGOs like Ankahee, they are actually doing a tremendous, incredible job, right?
Yes. And these NGOs, actually, we are also acting as a, we are trying to lessen the burden on the healthcare system.
Exactly.
We consider ourselves like emotional first aid. Because not everybody has access to healthcare system so easily. So at least we are providing some first aid help there.
So Purabi, tell me one thing, we more or less we discussed everything, all aspects we have touched, but suppose somebody, some of my viewers are actually watching this program and they may be having this kind of thoughts in their mind. So how easily they have access to these numbers? I mean to say, like I said, in the newspaper, they are in some days newspaper, you cannot go and find where is that like that. So how how there can be this helpline is available to everyone, if they want, 101, 100, like these numbers, fire ambulance. So is there something like that, or is there, are you thinking in this line how this helplines can be made more popular and more visible? Like right now, I don't know. Suppose I need to call this number. I don't know any number. Then what? I will search in newspaper. Then maybe Google. Right? I think if you Google, then you will get this number. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That is because nowadays most of the people know about, especially youngsters. So many times they Google and they find our number or other helplines number and they come to us. Of course, we have our website also. So we are trying to publish more about it, so that people come to know about us. Like when few days back, I went for an outreach activity where we had a booth. So there we talked to people, requested them to follow us on social media, spread the word.
Right.
Because by that way only we can reach more and more people. In fact, when we said whether I have any message for your viewers, I would rather say I have an appeal rather than a message. That if you or any of your near and dear ones have mental health problems, please seek help and encourage others to seek help. It can change a life. Somebody who is not seeing any alternative other than ending their lives, they might see an option. There is another option. If they need, they get the required help in time.
Absolutely.
And,
Yes.
and another appeal is that please help us to help more people by spreading the word
Yes.
about us.
That's why I thought of doing this podcast with you, you know. That is my main intention.
Yes, and in fact, right now I can give the numbers
Yeah.
also. Perhaps when you give a summary there also,
Yeah.
you can mention
I'll
our number.
flash, I'll flash the number.
That is 86554 86966.
86554 86996, right?
966, right. And if you want to write to us for emotional distress, this is hello@Ankahee helpline.org. And of course, you can visit our website also.
Okay.
And please spread the word so that we can more people come to know about
Yeah.
us. And yes, I'd also appeal if anyone wants to volunteer for us, because when we opened our own Ankahee, our aim was to our dream is to make it from 4 to 10. Instead of that, we want to make it 24/7.
Right.
But for that, we need volunteers. It is a totally volunteer-based organization. So we need more volunteers. So if you think you can contribute in any manner, be a call volunteer, be a email volunteer, or help us in doing outreach activities, please extend your help.
Okay.
That is my appeal to all your viewers.
Thank you, Purabi, so much for giving your valuable time for us. You are doing an noble service you are giving to the society, and of course that is incredible. Hats off to you. But I'd like to say at the same time, I think all of us have something to offer to society, reaching beyond our own family, as per our convenience and as per our capability, and that will make the things, say, 1%, 0.1% better. But if we all do that, how wonderful the situation would be. And often, I would say, big things often start with humble beginning. है ना?
Yeah. In fact, that reminds me a story when Ram started constructing the bridge over the sea.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Well,
That little animal came with
yes,
sand.
yes.
It's as per your capability. It doesn't have to be something big. It's the intention that counts.
Yes. Thank you very much, Purabi, and I hope that this podcast, many viewers, like more and more viewers, watch this. It is for something good, and I'm sure from this podcast, someone or the other is definitely benefiting from some corner of the country. Thank you very much, Purabi, and God bless you.
I would like to offer my gratitude that you helped us in reaching to more people. Thank you so much, Arvi. I feel so good about it.
Thank you, Purabi. Thank you. God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.